demonstration. Kamala Harris releases her medical records. She now has an agenda for black men all of a sudden. But before we get started with this demonstration, let me read my copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. What that means is that everything that you hear in this demonstration is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Everything that you hear in this video that I call a demonstration is only the opinions of mine and others. Everything that you hear in this demonstration is only allegedly. Now, Kamala Harris releases her medical records. What is that all about? According to her, she released her medical records, so it's time for Donald Trump to release his medical records. She is releasing her medical records, according to her, because she's showing everybody that she is able, she's in good health, and she's able to run the country. Now, she wants Donald Trump to be able to prove the same thing. She wants him to be able to prove whether or not he's in good health condition. So she's challenging him to release his medical records. Now, she also has come up with an agenda for black men and black men only. She calls it the Harris Opportunity, and that's for black men. Round of applause. I'll give her a round of applause. However, in my opinion, she's 4 years too late for that. Is it strange that she hasn't mentioned anything particular about doing for black men up until less than 30 days away from the election? She wants to do things for black men. I'll ask you all, is it a play? Is she running a play? Is the only reason why she is saying that she's going to do for black men is because she realizes that she doesn't have the black men votes? Is it that she's going after votes? Is this what this is all about? Because remember, she was asked a question. She was asked a question. Will she be doing anything for black people? And she said she would not be doing nothing for black people. She said if she do something for black people, it will have to benefit everybody. So now, why has she changed her mind? Y'all tell me, why do you think she changed her mind all of a sudden? I say it's politics.
New this morning, the Harris campaign is unveiling a new economic plan in a push to appeal to black male voters. The campaign says its opportunity agenda, as it is called, includes a focus on mental health and forgivable loans for black entrepreneurs. And it comes as Harris is raising new questions about Donald Trump's health.
See, and this is what I said on the last demonstration. I don't want to hear nothing about Donald Trump. See, she's doing what Donald Trump done in that debate. And this is what I told everybody. I hope Donald Trump doesn't do. In that debate, I said, I hope Trump doesn't come in trying to roast Kamala and talking negative about what Kamala hasn't done. She's doing the same thing that he done. She's bringing up Donald Trump. You don't have to bring up Donald Trump. If what you are doing for black men is called the Harris Opportunity Agenda, you should have no reason to bring up Donald Trump. Donald Trump shouldn't have anything to do with this. And for me, I can't speak for the rest of you all, but for me, I don't want to hear the candidates talk about the opponent. To me, that's elementary school. To me, that's high school. Running around. It reminds me of a relationship. You got a relationship, and you got the man. He's telling this female all the bad things about her ex-boyfriend. Bruh, she don't want to hear about her ex-boyfriend. She already know about her ex-boyfriend. So it's like, Kamala, you keep stressing about Trump. We already know about Trump. We already know about the 34 felony convictions. We already know these things about Trump. I'm tired of hearing about Trump. I don't want to hear nothing about Trump coming from Kamala. Vice versa. I don't want to hear nothing about Kamala coming from Trump. I want each candidate to talk about what they are going to do. Now, you talk about the Harris Opportunity Agenda, and it's catered, it's all about black men. For those who wondered what were black agendas, what were black issues. Shank, there is no black agenda. Shank, there is no black issues. Well, according to Kamala, she seems to believe that there are black agendas. And one particular black agenda is the Harris Opportunity Agenda, and it's only for black men. White men can't benefit off of this agenda. Hispanics can't benefit off this agenda. But I thought you said that you wasn't going to be doing anything just for black people. I thought you said that anything that you do for black people will benefit all people. Which one is it? I see the chat. Salute to the chat. I will come down to the chat. Salute.
And mental acuity. CNN's Kevin Liptak is with us this morning with the what and the why. Good morning, Kevin.
Yeah, and it's a relatively sweeping plan. And I think combined with her campaign travel this week, it does give you a sense of how urgently the Harris campaign views this task of trying to shore up support and enthusiasm among black men. Now, the plan is called the Opportunity Agenda for Black Men specifically. It's at its heart a plan to design, create wealth for black men, help them start businesses, help them protect their assets. It includes a plan to put out a 1 million.
He was even stuttering. He has a problem. Do you see how long it took him to get out simple words? Now, if this was what she was campaigning for, if this was her agenda in the very beginning, oh, she definitely would have this black man's vote, because I've said this several times. I've said this, that I'm going to vote for whoever is going to do something for black people. This is what I said. And I said at the time, Trump talks about doing something for black people. I gave Trump his flowers for that. That was another reason. There were two reasons why I was going to vote for Trump. The first reason was he made a better president than Biden. The second reason that I was going to vote for Trump was because Trump was talking about doing stuff for black people. So why all of a sudden now, the week after Willis called black men out for not voting for Kamala, and then I done the demonstration stating black men is not voting for Kamala because Kamala hasn't said anything that she was going to do for black men. Have y'all noticed? Right after I done the demonstration, here comes Kamala with an agenda for black men. Well, kudos to you, Kamala. I know that you and your people were in my bushes watching. And I'm sure that you and your people are back in my bushes today watching. So I have some more choice words for you. And maybe you'll take heed to what I'm saying. You took heed to what I said in the last demonstration. Now, what I will say is, you do have a good chance that I might vote for you, but only if you take heed to my message in this demonstration. Let's move on.
$20,000 loans. It includes a plan to invest more in apprenticeship programs, hire more black teachers. There's a health initiative for ailments that specifically affect black men. And she's reiterating her support for legalizing recreational marijuana.
Stop right there. Now, this is what's under the Harris Opportunity Agenda. 1 million loans to black entrepreneurs, forgivable up to $20,000. Also, apprenticeship promotion, strengthening public service loan forgiveness, investing in more black male teachers, legalize recreational marijuana, which I have no problem with these issues. It's a good start. My problem is why all of a sudden now? Drop a 1 in the chat if you feel like I feel. Why all of a sudden now Kamala has an agenda specifically for black men? Drop a 1 if you agree with me. Drop a 2 if you disagree.
And helping black men become part of the nationwide cannabis industry. So taken together, it is quite a sweeping proposal. And it does come as Democrats warn about a slide in enthusiasm among black men specifically. This is something we heard Barack Obama warn about last week. And certainly the campaign views this now as an imperative. And you see that in her campaign travel. Today she'll be in Erie, Pennsylvania. She'll be visiting a black-owned small business. Tomorrow she's in Detroit. She's participating in a town hall hosted by Charlamagne the God.
You can't make this up, y'all. Now she's visiting black-owned businesses. Now she's going to be talking with Charlamagne the God. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. Give me a minute, y'all. I will come down to the chat and I will address y'all comments. You can't make this up. Now, she wants to push black agendas. But before, she wasn't doing nothing for just black people. And if she did do anything for black people, then it would have to benefit all people. But now we're less than 30 days away from election, and she sees that she ain't getting the votes from black men. She getting the minority. Don't get me wrong. She getting a minority of black men. She getting about, 4% of black men that's going to vote for her. But the majority of black men are either voting for Trump or either they just ain't voting at all. Black men see right through you, Kamala. We see right through you. And it don't have anything to do with black men being sexist towards her. It don't have anything black men have against a woman running this country. Black men been over that stereotype. White men has been over that stereotype. Hispanic men, all men of all races have been gotten over that stereotype. We got over that years ago. Okay, if women want to lead, if women want to be in leadership, fine. Let them do it. Give them a chance. So we've been over that. We've been over that. So you can't put this on black men. Now all of a sudden, you want the black men votes. Why? I'm waiting. And I don't see no Kamala Harris supporters in my chat. But if I was talking about Donald Trump, my chat would be filled with Kamala Harris supporters. See, I don't believe in being biased towards anyone. I do believe when it comes to Trump, you have the good, the bad, and the ugly. I believe when it comes to Kamala, you have the good, the bad, and the ugly. I feel like Trump supporters should accept the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to Trump. I feel like Kamala supporters should accept the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to Kamala. But why is it when I'm discussing the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to Trump, Kamala supporters are here, as well as Trump supporters. But when I discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly with Kamala, Kamala supporters don't show up.
The host of the Breakfast Club radio show, very popular among black millennials. The fear is not necessarily that Kamala Harris is going to lose among black men. The fear is that polls show her underperforming compared to previous Democratic candidates, and in a close race, any kind of erosion could affect the outcome.
You know, Kevin, I mentioned that Harris seems to be going after Donald Trump in a new way, questioning his transparency on health.
Yeah, and this comes after she released her own health records over the weekend, a letter from her doctor. It was relatively, uninteresting. She is a healthy woman. They say that she's fit to serve. She was really doing it as a way to highlight the fact that Trump himself has not released his own health records, and she really went hard after him yesterday in North Carolina, calling on him to release his own information. Listen to what she said.
He refuses to release his medical records. I've done it.
Once again, it's like a tug of war. It's a back and forth thing. And this is what I got on Trump about. So if I can get on Trump about constantly talking about Kamala, then I can get on Kamala constantly talking about Trump. Y'all need to stay away from that. Kamala Harris and her supporters, stop talking about Trump. I gave this information up to the Trump supporters and Trump by telling them, stop talking about Kamala. I'm telling Kamala, stop talking about Trump. You'll win more voters. You'll win, especially black men and other men. You'll win more voters if you talk about what you are going to do. If we vote for you, we don't. I apologize, y'all. Bad connection. We don't want to hear nothing about Trump. You release your medical records. Good. I think that was a good thing. You want to show us that you are capable of running this country. That's good. But to throw Trump in it, Trump don't have to release his medical records. He don't.
He is unwilling to do a 60 Minutes interview. Like every other major party candidate has done for more than half a century. He is unwilling to meet for a second debate. It makes you wonder, why does his staff want him to hide away? that he is too weak and unstable to lead America?
I will say, in my opinion, I don't think Trump is weak. Now there are other things that I can call him out on, but calling him out on being weak, that's something that I would never say Trump is too weak to run this country. He's not. Trump don't show no signs of weakness. There was an assassination attempt on his life. And he, what, 20, less than 24 hours, he was back up and looking and moving around like he didn't miss a heartbeat. So I don't agree with her when she says he's weak. Like I said, there are things that I could call Trump out for, but as far as being weak, nah, I don't buy that. I don't believe that he's weak.
So you really see her trying to turn the tables on Trump there, who had long accused President Biden of hiding away. She's really trying to present herself as the candidate of change and Trump as sort of an old relic. That, at the end of the day, is going to be her closing argument, and you can see her starting to present that now.
Yeah, it was a notable piece of new language from the stump. Kevin Liptak, thank you so much for your reporting this morning.
All right, let me jump to the chat, y'all, for a few. Let me jump down to the chat, y'all, for a few and take some comments. If I skip over, if I don't read your comment, just drop it again. All right. I'm going to start at Husky Mom. Husky Mom says 60 Minutes edited your video. They lied on him the last time and couldn't admit he was right. Obama said picking on someone isn't strength. So, Obama, what do you say about this? Jonathan says this same woman said that Joe Biden was not senile and doing a great job. Salute, 80s baby. And please, y'all, please, no profanity in the chat. Y'all could use BS. Y'all could say ish. Y'all could just use the letter F. Please, y'all, no profanity in the chat. Other than that, I will accept y'all opinions. Even if y'all disagree with me, it's fine. State your opinion. But please, no profanity in the chat. Thank you. Tommy from Still Swinging says, black men don't believe in her BS because she can't get us in our feelings. We seen too much of this from better candidates. Jonathan says, I think she is playing with fire, though, trying to get him to debate. Because although Trump knows that he will not be given a fair shake, she assumes it will go good for her. Toxin says she lost the debate, now she mad. Toxin says only losers want a rematch after a loss like that. Husky Mom says she's really the change president. She was asked what she would change about Biden's policies, and she said nothing came to mind. Wow. Like I said before, why all of a sudden now do she want to do things for black men? I thought that you, Kamala, wasn't going to be doing anything for black people. And if you did do anything for black people, then it would benefit all people. So now, why are you coming to the brothers? Huh? Jonathan says, I hope that Trump gives in and does another debate. People are already decided about who they're going to vote for anyways. I do believe that, Jonathan. I do believe that. Toxin says, happy you're covering this unbiased. I appreciate that, Toxin. I'm neutral, y'all. I'm neutral. I'm not Democrat nor Republican. I'm not. I ride things neutral. I like to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly on both sides. And I like to call a spade a spade. If it's something that I agree with Trump on, I'm going to let it be known. If it's something that I agree with Kamala on, I'm going to let it be known. I do my best to run an unbiased platform. I appreciate you all for pulling up and sharing your opinions with me. So I appreciate you all for pulling up and sharing y'all opinions.
My campaign has raised $1 billion.
Oh, my Lord. How are you not winning by a landslide?
That's a question I scream into my pillow every morning.
I hollered. I hollered the first time I seen this, y'all. I got backtracking. Toxin says, I'm gonna send my people to your channel. We need more people like you being truthful. I appreciate you, Toxin. I appreciate you. Bitwell says, there are two wings of the same bird. We shouldn't fight between each other. We should hold government as a whole accountable. I agree with you, Bitwell. I gotta play this back, y'all. I hollered when I seen this. I hollered when I seen. Y'all bear with me, y'all. Y'all know I could cut a fool over here sometimes. But I hollered when I seen this, y'all. Give me a minute. Ah. Woo.
My campaign has raised $1 billion.
Oh, my Lord. How are you not winning by a landslide?
That's a question I scream into my pillow every morning.
Kamala Harris still hoping to shake things up in the waning weeks of this election. Her latest strategy is releasing details from her medical history in an attempt to bring renewed scrutiny to the health of her opponent. Harris's physician, in a letter this weekend, says Harris, who's 59 years old, is in, quote, excellent health, only suffering from mild seasonal allergies and slight nearsightedness. I mean, who among us? Harris also levying an attack against Trump, now the oldest presidential nominee in American history. At 78 years old, that just 3 months ago, he himself may have used against Joe Biden.
Only focused on himself. And he's not, but here's the thing, North Carolina, and he's not being transparent with the voters. He's not being transparent. So check this out. He refuses to release his medical records.
And joining us now, former advisor to George W. Bush and John McCain, Mark McKinnon. He is also the creator of Paramount's The Circus. Mark, if it's Monday, you're here with us. I'm so grateful to have you. Let's talk about this strategy from Harris to try to refocus on this. I mean, you've heard people like Chris Christie, for example, has been out there saying Donald Trump is not as strong of a candidate in as strong of a place now as he was in 2016. But will it work? Does it matter?
Well, good morning, Casey. Yeah, it does matter. I mean, that was Biden's problem, obviously. You can't be 66 in America and be a park ranger or a pilot, but you can run for president. And it's good for Harris to remind us that the health records is a good reminder that Donald Trump is this, it's basically the same age as Biden was, and people were really concerned about Biden. So they have reason to be concerned about Trump as well.
Well, it's a difference between Biden and Trump. See, this is the things that I call BS. Now, they're trying to compare Trump's age with Biden's age. But what they are failing to do is give us one event. Give us one time that we saw Trump dozing off at the podium. Give us one time that we seen Trump stuttering over his words. Give us one time that we seen Trump not able to make it up a flight of stairs. Give us one time when Trump disappeared and nobody knew where he was at. So it's not so much of the age factor. It's the individual in what they are showing us at that age. Because you got a lot of 77-year-olds, you got a lot of 85-year-olds that will make younger people look like we're just a bunch of lazy young folks. You got a lot of men and women in their 80s that'll run circles around us younger people. Give me one event where Trump showed us because of his age, he's not able to run the country. Just give me one. I'll take one. Give me the video. That's all. Just give me one video where it shows that Trump, because of his age, is not able to run the country.
So I think it's a good strategy. And by the way, I think that while panic may not be justified, panic's a good thing. I want my voters to be panicked in the last days of an election. I don't want them to be overconfident. You want them freaked out, and that's a good thing.
Mark, speaking of panic among Democrats, I mean, the polling out over the weekend shows the race tightening, right? Both ABC and NBC showed movement from their September surveys that pulls these two closer together. I certainly am hearing from both Democrats and Republicans, people seem to think that Trump has the edge right now. I'm interested to know what you're hearing on that score and why you think the race is where it is right now.
Always thought it'd be tight, always thought it'd be close, and I'd still rather be her than him. Listen, Kamala Harris still has more upside. Trump has a ceiling. Even though he's bumping up against that ceiling, it's still a ceiling. It's just, she has more voters to get. And here's a number that I really focus on, Casey, and that is that when it was Trump v. Biden, Trump was winning new voters by +10. Harris is now winning new voters by +13. And I continue to say that this race is not so much about undecideds as it is about unregistered and new voters and getting her base out. And I just think at the end of the day that she's got more upside on new voters and she's got more upside on animated and enthusiastic Democratic voters. Yes, there's a gender gap, but who's going to be more excited? Women who feel a threat because of their reproductive rights or men because of Trump? And I always go back to George W. Bush. This whole dystopic thing that you played off the top today is, I mean, that's dark, dark stuff, Casey. And, Bush used to say, nobody's going to say things are going to hell, follow me. At the end, you've got to have a little bit of shine and pity on the hill.
There's nothing more.
Kamala doesn't have the black male voters. And that's why she's coming after the black male voters. Because Kamala, she don't have the black male voters. I'm telling y'all. That's why she come up with this new agenda, specifically for black men. The Harris Opportunity Agenda. That is strictly for black men. Why? Because she knows that she doesn't have the black men voters. Other than that, if she had the black men voters, she would not have this Harris Opportunity Agenda strictly for black men. So we see that black men are either voting for Trump or black men aren't voting at all. She got a small percentage of black men that's voting for her. She do. But it's a very, very small percentage. And that's just because black men see through the BS. And it don't have nothing to do with her being a woman. We been got over that. I said that plenty of times. Men have been got over the fact that we are in different day and time now, and women are in leadership role. We been got over that. Shirley says, after watching Trump, I really believe something mentally is going on with him. Would you care to share with me, Shirley? Would you care to share with me? Husky Mom says, we women can't base our vote on one issue. How will women afford abortion or contraceptives in this economy? How can women start families when they can't even buy groceries or a home? Crip Blue says, I can't believe I raw dogged a prostitute last night. Jay says, let's see freedom of speech, right to bear arms and pro-life. You ain't black if you don't vote for Trump. Now we'll address Husky Mom's comment about the women. Now, for me, I'm not a woman, so I'm sure that the average woman is going to vote for Kamala because she's speaking to the women, she's standing up for the women, and she is going to be doing some things to help women in their problems. So I can understand the women that vote for Kamala. Now, I'm not sure if you voting for Kamala or not, Husky Mom. I'm not sure. Salute to For Life. I see the chat. But like I said, when it comes to me being a black man, and this is what I was saying all along, and some people were saying it's not about race. Some people were saying, Shank, she can't do nothing just for black people. Yes, she can. And I've always said this, and I've always stressed that. And that was one of the things that I liked about Donald Trump. There are things that I dislike about Trump. However, there are things that I liked about Donald Trump. Donald Trump talked like he is for black people. Donald Trump, I'm sorry if y'all think otherwise. I'm sorry if y'all think otherwise. I'm telling y'all how I feel about it. I'm a black man. So naturally, I want to see things done for black people. That's my right. I'm no different from a Latino. I'm no different from a Caucasian. I'm no different from from an Asian. If an Asian is going to vote for Trump or either Kamala, you best believe Trump or Kamala is going to have to do something for that Asian. If a Hispanic, if they vote for Trump or Kamala, they're going to have to do something for the Hispanics to get their vote. It's the same way with black people. If they want our vote, they have to do something for us. Let's move on. My bad.
I mean, I guess my question just remains, I mean, why are people turning back toward him in this way at this point if all of what you say is true?
It's just a tightening of the base, I think, Casey. And I just, again, I always.
Let me take this quick comment from Ms. Groovy. And I'm going to take yours too, Husky Mom. Ms. Groovy says, I saw a few people saying they are not voting for Kamala because when she was DA and ADA, she put a lot of black men. She was doing her job. I feel she has more political experience. Husky Mom says, I'm voting for Trump. Abortion cannot be the main reason to vote. We have men in this country too. For all the policies combined, Trump is the best pick. It's about all Americans, not just one group. And I do believe that, Husky Mom. And with Trump he don't only talk about doing things for black people. He talk about doing things for other American communities. Trump talks about doing things for all communities in America. However, Kamala, up until now, she never talked about doing stuff for black people, especially black men. Shirley says the way he start talking about one topic, then he goes off on you, and half the time you don't know what he's talking about. And I respect your opinion, Shirley. That's a good point that you made. I respect your opinion.
I think it was going to be close, and he's just bumping up against the ceiling. And that base is a very dedicated base to Trump. So I think the base is just tightening and hardening, and that's it. But I still think there's a ceiling, and I still think there's more upside for Harris. So again, I think that I don't think panic is justified, but it's a good thing to motivate.
Times has this front page story today about the ground game in the final weeks and how Harris and Trump are using different strategies to get folks out. And they write this: Vice President Kamala Harris, former President Donald Trump, staking their chances on two radically different theories of how to win, one tried and true, the other untested. Ms. Harris's team running an expansive version of the type of field organization that's dominated politics for decades, deploying paid staff to organize and turn out every vote they can find. Mr. Trump's campaign is going after a smaller universe of less frequent voters while relying on well-funded but inexperienced outside groups to reach a broader swath of voters. I mean, one of the interesting things here to me, Mark, is that Trump's team seems to think that people that have never voted before are going to go with him, right? And in past cycles, Democrats have always been able to bank on that. They've been able to bank on, well, we get more people out, most of those people are going to go for us. How do you think that group is breaking this time?
Well, I think that if they weren't already for Trump, that they're not likely to be. And listen, I think at the end of the day, in any enterprise, what would you rather have, paid workers or volunteers? Paid workers are always better. They're always more motivated, and they're always going to do harder work and better work. So I think the paid strategy works because it's worked before, and why not go with something that's worked? So using volunteers to go after voters who've never voted before, I think it's just fishing in a very small pool where there aren't very many fish. With fishing rods that don't have bait on it.
This girl can cause a lot of problems for us.
All right, y'all. I'll take some comments. I'm not going to hold y'all that much longer. And then we're going to get out of here. I'll take some of y'all comments, like I said, and then we're going to get out of here. Give me 2 seconds. All right, let's see what the chat is saying. Good morning, Sagas. Appreciate you for pulling up, Sagas. LB Things says, yeah, for rich people. LB Things says, like what? Deportation. North Bay says, my argument is, congratulations, you're a different gender. North Bay says, but you're still poor. So, in my conclusion, I do believe that Kamala is 3 years, almost 4 years late when she comes to us with this Harris opportunity agenda only for black men. This is something that she should have been advocating for. You mean to tell me we 3 weeks away for election and now you want to talk to the brothers? Now you want to do something for the brothers? Husky Mom says, everyone voting Kamala. I also asked them, are you happy with the state of our nation and do you support the wars going on? As an independent voter, I feel we need change. LB Thing says, as vice president, what can she do? That's not how anything works. Okay. I respect that, LB Things. I respect that. Now, when did Kamala first decide that she was going to run for president? Salute, Suntan. Appreciate you for pulling up. Suntan says it's 7:45 a.m. here in Cali. I'm just rolling over. I will be coming back. I got 3 demonstrations that I'm going to be doing today. Suntan, I got another one that I'm going to be doing at probably noon or even 1 o'clock. But I ask you, when did she first declare that she was going to run for president? Matter of fact, let's go to her debate. Let's go to the Donald Trump and Kamala Harris debate. What was that? A month ago? You didn't hear anything from Kamala about Harris' opportunity agenda. You didn't hear anything in that debate that Kamala was going to be doing anything for black people, particularly black men. Why all of a sudden now? That's my question that I'm leaving you all with. You can meet me in the comment section and answer that question, or either I'll see you back at 12 noon for my next demonstration. That wouldn't be illegal. How would it be illegal? It's an agenda. She's coming and talking to us about this agenda now. Do you still consider it to be illegal? So my question is, and y'all meet me in the comment section with the answer. And everybody on the replay, answer this question for me. How come Kamala Harris didn't mention the Harris opportunity agenda at the debate when her and Trump were debating? Why all of a sudden now? Meet me in the comment section with y'all answer, and I'll see y'all back in an hour. Salute everybody. I do see y'all down there in the chat. Salute. Make sure everybody pull back up at 12 noon. That's an hour and 15 minutes away. Salute everybody.